Welcome to this very special edition of the Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through the industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Chris Barkhurst, founder and developer of Barky AI. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes, welcome to the show once again, Chris. And thanks for coming in at such a short notice. So we will be talking about how AI is helping us in our today's day-to-day life. But first, to understand in context of your Barky AI, what exactly is Barky AI all about?
Well, Barky AI is a mobile application built on advanced AI. So, the best way to describe Barky AI is to sum it up in a few different questions. Have you ever wanted an app to help you generate content for your blog or social media post? Or have you ever needed an app to help you, vent your frustrations or get advice or help you with a professional, optimize a professional letter? Or would you ever use an app just to, chat with a companion or possibly optimize your resume? Barky AI does all that plus more. It's limitless at what it can do. It could generate content, help with mental health issues, and optimize your business processes. It's truly an amazing app.
Okay. And how did you start with that? Because you found that there was no singular app to help individuals succeed in all aspects. Aren't all the apps or AI that is available at the moment helping us in all aspects? How is Barky AI different?
Well, there's a lot of AI apps available on the App Store, but they're mostly companion-based AI. So, for example, Replica is a AI app that's available on the App Store, which, to sum it up, is more of a, like a girlfriend, boyfriend type app. You say, "Hey, how are you doing?" She says, "Hey, I'm doing fine. How are you?" And then you kind of talk about your day, and it's kind of just a friend app. You can't ask it, personal questions and receive advice back because the app doesn't have that capability. We're the first app on the market that has mental health actually built into it. We have been recommended by numerous physicians, psychiatrists to help patients with self-help and self-support between treatments. We've also been recommended by several school boards as a way to help with education, students' education, when they need help, with generation of outlines, generation of essay topics, stuff like that. So there's no other AI app out there that has that kind of technical capability.
Okay. Your app is, if I understand is correct, is that it's helping in mental health, it's helping in content creation, it's helping as a personal assistant. Help us understand what exactly, I haven't used that app as yet, but for an audience who, how, if they have to get interested in an app like this, how would exactly you describe an all-in-one sort of an app that can be useful for them?
Certainly. So the app works as a chatbot. So if you're familiar with how to text message somebody, you're already familiar with how to use this chatbot or this app. So when you first log in, you sign up and create an account, and the first thing you're met with is Barky saying, "How can I help you?" And you just type in your heart's content. You just type in whatever you want. Generate an essay on how the French Revolution affected prices of grapes, whatever, and it would generate that essay for you. Generate a post on how AI is going to revolutionize the industry in the next 5 years. It'll write that post for you for your social media. If you ask it, "Hey, I'm feeling kind of down, help me out with my feelings," it will work you through that process. If you wanted to joke about whatever, I wanted a Christmas joke, for example, it'll tell you a joke about Christmas. It's truly just a great program.
Okay, okay. So is it we can say is something like Chat GPT, which is in very much people are talking about nowadays. Is it also available on desktop, or we got to download it on our mobile phones?
Right now, Barky AI is only available on mobile devices through as an app. It's We're working towards a website, but we want to conquer the mobile app landscape first before we start conquering the website, because right now the website is already has Chat GPT. So why would we want to do something like that? And speaking of Chat GPT, I want to make it perfectly clear that what we have with Barky AI is totally has a proprietary AI system set apart from what ChatGPT uses. So ChatGPT uses one AI platform. We use a total different proprietary AI platform. So we're not nowhere intersecting at all.
Right. Now, talking of mental health, assisting them in mental health, how does this work, especially in the backdrop that a lot of this ais, people say that you cannot always depend on the output as the accuracy of output and all, and mental health is such a serious issue. So how does it work here, that the some people have already recommended it, people from the medical line? How should one look at the output generated by uh, Barky AI or any other AI sort of a thing, and clearly go with that? How do you assess that information? How do you know whether it is what you were looking for? It is something that you can actually follow.
Certainly. Well, we take mental health very seriously, especially since patients are going to be able to use Barky AI as self care in between treatments. So we took Barky AI and gave it to psychiatrists and counselors and had them rigorously test this um, during its development, and they gave us the recommendation and said, "Hey, this passes all of our tests. You're available." Um, we're going to give this our recommendation and everything. And how we programmed it on our end is um, we use our proprietary platform to help drive along the self-care portion. It immediately Barky AI immediately detects if that person is in a mental health state, if you will, and follows that platform. And then also it identifies if that person is in a crisis mode. And if that person is in a crisis mode, it gives them the tools and resources needed to uh, follow and help them get better care. Because once again, I want to make sure we're perfectly utmost, and saying that Barky AI is in nowhere a licensed physician, is nowhere in a replacement for a physician or a licensed counselor or a licensed psychiatrist. So if they're in crisis mode or if they need somebody to really help them, they should go see that person or go get uh, professional help.
Okay, okay. Now you deal with such sort of an app, uh, Chris. Now, if artificial intelligence is taking over so many of the functions that we do, for an adult it is still okay, they can still understand how exactly to use it. But if we can use in school research, it can, other aspects of our lives, then how does it impact creativity, especially among children? So in the present world, how do you see all these things, you bringing that sort of a balance between the use of artificial intelligence in our daily lives, as well as letting the human part of the thinking very much vibrant? How does that happen?
Well, I see it that artificial intelligence plays a part, plays a component of forming the structure, forming a foundation of what we used to do as, um, you know, what's the word I'm looking for here? Routine work. When we used to, have to go and I remember when I was a child, I would have to go and do the outline of an essay, and then start forming that. With, for example, with Barky AI now, I can just type in, "This is the topic of the essay I want to do. This is my thought process here," and Barky AI can formulate that outline for me. It's just like in um, when we are in the professional world right now, we already have templates available to us for code development and for other types of development. So we're just taking what we have right now and making it available to uh, edu- uh, education.
Okay, okay. You it was not an easy journey for you. For this app, you sold your car to fund Barky when you wanted to start this. Means, why did you have to take such a difficult route? Weren't there people who were ready to fund this sort of a thing when there is so much of talk about investments in artificial intelligence stuff? What is it? What is it that made you start go for this sort of an app? How was this journey? Help us understand exactly the sweat and blood that you had to put into it.
Yeah, this this app has really been a fun. It'd make a great movie because I've been using this artificial intelligence for the past 3 years, and for every company I've worked with, I gave it to my team to use, and it's really helped our team's efficiency and our collaboration. And then I showed it to the company I've worked for or the clients that I've worked for, and they said, "We don't want it. We don't. We That has no place in it." And then I got part. I got I I was caught up in the layoffs that took part in October, so I've been without a job since October. And my wife, who's been very supportive of me, said, "Hey, Chris, you've been working with Barky AI for 3 years now. What drives you is helping other people succeed. Why don't you help everybody succeed and make a mobile app to basically help all of America, help all of the world?" And I said, "Hey, that sounds like a great idea. I don't know how to develop a mobile app." So I learned how to develop a mobile app. I found a developer who was crazy enough to uh, come along on this journey with me. We developed the app in about a week. We launched it. We gained over 50,000 users in less than 2 weeks. And what we found out quickly was that when the app scales that fast, so does the cost of maintaining that app. So we had to raise capital quickly because we don't have an investor. It was just I'm bootstrapping the whole thing. So I had to pay my developer. I had to pay rising server costs. I had to pay rising expenses. So we had to sell my car. We had to sell other assets that we have. And then as the app continues to gain in popularity, I had to sell more and more assets as we wait for an investor to come in and say, "Hey, we actually have something here," because we're generating revenue. It's just that the revenue won't be paid out until February or March. So it's just one of those cases where you're growing so fast that your capital can't catch up.
Right. So, are the investors now looking at it much more closely, much more favorably? How is it going on? How are you marketing this now?
I'm marketing it on through TikTok, just to gain users, and then for investors, I'm going on LinkedIn. I'm asking people um, who are investors who invest in it, like angel investors and whatnot. Just asking them, cold calling and basically hitting the pavement and asking them, "Hey, check this app out. This is what we have. Here's my pitch deck. What do you think?" And the response is kind of more or less cold, because either the recession has taken place or um, one thing or another. But regardless, we have somebody who is interested, but um, the requirements are we're trying to meet the requirements, but we always like to have more.
Okay, okay. There is this term also going on that the AI winter is almost setting in, and that funding in this sort of things in amidst all these layoffs and all these things happening, that it will be a difficult time going ahead. So I just wanted to understand, as a mind of an entrepreneur, how are you looking at pushing such a thing that have come up such nicely? Because if there is a good product, the world should use it. How are you taking it forward in terms of as a developer and also as the CEO of this particular company?
Well, I mean, we push forward every day. My developer and I, we have a path forward on new features we want to add. Every day, I have more users that email me saying this is what they want to see added. This is a success story. One of the success stories we had the other day was somebody who has a daughter who doesn't communicate well with others. She emailed and she said that she gave her the Barky app, and she played with the Barky app for a couple hours, and then showed her mom the long story she created with plot and characters and whatnot. And her mom had a long discussion. That's the longest her daughter has spoken to her mom in years. So Barky is a success, regardless if it goes on for years and years and years, or just a few months based on capital. So we push forward based on the success and based on what our users say. So that's what drives us.
Right. And how will it keep its individuality in the midst of so many apps coming on in this line? Even Chat GPT is coming up with new versions. Now it will get integrated. There's this talk of getting integrated with Microsoft, Microsoft Word and other stuff that they have. Then even Google might come up with something competitive. They already have one artificial. And then there are so many other apps which are more into content writing for social media and all that stuff. So how are you working towards that, in terms of keeping its competitiveness alive, with vis-a-vis all the different sort of other apps as well as the bigger players in this field?
Well, that's something that we took into consideration. So that's why that's why I was so gun ho about getting first to the market to corner certain key industries and get them locked down, so we could be first to market on saying to these industries, "Hey, we have this app. It does this. We have a proprietary AI platform. Here's our 30, 60, 90-day plan. Let's sign an exclusivity agreement." And based off that, we were able to get these key industries locked down, and we were able to push forward. For example, New York public schools, they just banned ChatGPT, but they
Yeah.
did not. They said Barky is not banned, so students can use Barky, but they can't use ChatGPT. So if Microsoft was to get ChatGPT into Microsoft Word or whatnot, how is that going to work? I mean, that's a unique partnership right there that I don't know how that will be intersect. But for the time being, ChatGPT is banned for New York's public schools. Barky is not.
Okay, okay, that's a very good positive for Barty, and I'm sure with time you will do much more of a marketing stuff. More people will know about it. There will be more downloads, and I'm sure people will continue to will invest in it to make it bigger and scale up the way you want to. But sometimes, just as an investor, it comes to you that it may just not work, not because it's not a good product, but maybe investment may not come in at the right time. How do you think, as an investor, as an entrepreneur, as well as a developer, as you go forward?
Well, I mean, from an investor standpoint, I see that side of the table, and I try to position myself in a way that how can I make this a win-win for both Barkey as well as the investor? Because I see that here's an app that has gained 50,000 users in less than 2 weeks, and we've suffered some setbacks based on that growth. And here we have this guy here who's been bootstrapping this whole operation, and he's selling assets here. So how can I market myself as Barky AI to investors to make that more of a lucrative agreement? So it's difficult on how to do that, but it's making those relationships and making those connections and showing them that value within Barky AI, and that unique relationship is just being able to corner that market and corner that industry that we were talking about, saying, well, ChatGPT was just banned, but Barky is not, and Barky is in other industries as well, whereas ChatGPT and other industries are not. So we are a small company. We can move faster, more agile than other big companies. We might not have the connections there, but we can move there faster. So that's how we can market ourselves.
Okay. Whatever way the market is going, I'm sure Barky will be able to distinguish in itself with the amount of work that you can do with Barky. That I can,
Absolutely.
yeah. So that let's hope for that. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much, Chris, for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.